Hello guys, Tone here and welcome back to part 2 of the 21 Conduct TNNT, the November NetHack Tournament Ascension. I'm doing a review with commentary of. And we last left off on, I believe this is floor 2 of the mines. We just fell down a trap door, which is always a little dangerous. Fall into unknown territory. At least this is a lit floor, and I only see one gnome here, a gnome lord. So it shouldn't be very dangerous, but it is pretty wide open space here, and due to the enemy pathing AI, they're just basically gonna potentially swarm us if there's a lot of stuff here. So let's see how this plays out. There you go. You can see my a capture of my emotions at the time that this happened. Shit. Yeah. You're playing a bunch of conducts and have restrictions, and we have a Scroll of Scare monster, but it's uncursed. No really amazing escape items. You want to keep things in your control, and falling down a trapdoor removes that. I didn't catch how many levels we fell, actually, but we're only on dungeon level 5, so I think we did fall just one floor. Alright, immediately gotta force bolt the Gnome Lord. Takes like 3 zaps. Oh. Wish I could scroll through these sections a little faster, but I can't do the length of this DTY rec. Maybe in the future we'll be able to. Yeah, exactly. I think I mentioned this at the end of the last episode. Actually, this level is lit and should show me the downstairs above. So it may actually be easier to find the upstairs to this floor, which will show us where the downstairs is upstairs. I try to spend as little time as possible on non-lit mines floors until I'm a bit stronger. And I'm definitely not strong at this point. 32 HP, level 5. Decent power pool. Force Bolt does work in the mines. You can kill gnomes left and right, but once you run out of power, there's not a lot you can do. And we still just have some untrained daggers to use. Again, we're playing weaponless, so we can't use anything else. Looks like we checked our challenges. We haven't really broken anything yet. Or conducts, not challenges. I guess they're the same thing. Alright, yeah, see, the guys are... Everyone's coming to town now. We got a dwarf, a gnome. Another dwarf, another gnome. Looks like a good time to force bolt. Just using daggers though. If I force bolt here, I want to get both dwarves in the force bolt for sure. So I'm waiting for them to get closer to me while throwing daggers at these gnomes. I'm even letting this gnome attack me in melee right now. As I throw a dagger at it. Now we force bolt. Kill the gnome, miss the dwarf. That's all the range we got out of that one. A little dangerous to be sitting here adjacent to this dwarf. I think I did that because I was getting daggers thrown at me though. And dwarves, actually pretty much everything in the mines. Dwarves and gnomes are pretty slow, so you can always outrun them. Okay. Well, that spell killed the dwarf and the hobbit. And it still didn't hit that last one. And aware that the power is getting low, so just throwing some daggers at this other dwarf. The dwarf up there. See how everything's just kind of entering the space? If you're higher level or you have like a sweet longsword or something, a nice little HP pool, some AC. Note that my AC is 9 right now, not very good. And this isn't too bad. But for us, we'll just die to attrition very quickly if we take even a couple of fights here. A dwarf that has dwarvish broadsword or a pickaxe or mattock could probably kill us one-on-one. So yeah, we got to be careful. Playing slow, lining up shots to get efficient use out of our spells. Taking things as they come. Looks like I was comfortable that that dagger was not cursed. I don't know if I saw something wield it or if it just got thrown a few times. If a monster wields a weapon, it'll tell you that it's cursed if you see them wield it, because it'll weld to their hand. Should auto-identify too, I believe. Expensive camera. You can use that, it blinds enemies, but you can also use it to scare them. It'll usually scare them, which is pretty nice. Let's check that again, actually. Checked our skill screen. Everything is just at the defaults right now. I think I was checking to see if I was able to upgrade dagger yet. I miss that message a lot. Actually, I wonder if do I have a message type stop for that? I probably don't, and I should add that. I need to check my config file to see if I have a setting in there to make me force a more prompt when a skill is available to level up. So I do tend to miss that a lot. I don't know if that's the reason why or not. But that wasn't the case here. We need to hit more things with daggers. Actually, I will be able to level up daggers pretty soon, probably. Not if I keep missing like that. So maybe we'll find out if I actually do have that setting in my config file or not. It's pretty tedious killing this gnome right now. Note that we're still in the phase where I don't really expect this run to go anywhere. Oh, check this out. I actually named it that I thought it was cursed, not that I thought it was uncursed. I didn't catch that earlier. So I must have seen I think I saw the Hobbit have the Elven dagger slip as he threw it. And then when I grabbed it later, I remembered that, but I didn't know. I wasn't 100% sure if that was actually the dagger that was thrown or not. We were playing like hyper optimally. We could have went and checked the TTY rec like I'm doing now and actually seen, but I tend not to do that when I play if it's not necessary, which it definitely isn't there. Almost never do that, to be honest. I like to play optimally, but not super hyper optimally. Yeah, it took us forever to kill that first gnome, and now check this out, the gnome lord is actually punishing us a bit with these daggers. Switch back to the force bolt spell. Gotta keep my HP up. I just force bolt those two guys. Maybe not the best option. My power's getting pretty low, but again, we don't have any source of nutrition, so we can't waste a lot of turns kiting and throwing daggers almost futilely at gnomes. Like that last one. If every fight we took like that, we'll get hungry way too fast, even with this I think we have a ring of slow digestion, right? Yeah, we do. You got a wand, which is cool. Gray stones, possibly luck. We test the wand. Grave test it. Speed monster, awesome. Zap ourselves immediately, get some extra speed. That makes us be able to move around faster, conserving nutrition. That allows us to fight better, to run away from enemies. Getting a little bit of speed is very nice. Dead end over there. An annoying diagonal here that we can't get through, so I need to I'm just throwing the spell books through, get her weight down. Go. I decided to check this armor before going back. Yes, some items here. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. We don't have a good way to curse test anything. We're petless, we're atheists. We really just need to ID things, or if we can get remove curse options, we can just wear test things. And if we get something that's like incredibly negatively enchanted, we can remove curse it. It looks like I don't want to have to run back through that thing, so I just grabbed that stuff now. Put on the other side to come back to later. We're not going to walk around burdened with it all. And if I had to guess, I might even forget about that, that pile. It's hard to remember, especially in the mines. It's pretty common to know you found like a decent weapon or a pickaxe or a piece of armor here, but you're burdened because you don't have like a bag of holding or anything yet. You might still have low strength from being in the early game. And so you just leave like stuff you might want later on the ground, and you don't always remember where it is when you come back. Cool, so we found the stairs here. I don't know if I'm actually going to explore that. Nope. I will stay on the safe, well, safe-ish lit floor for now. So I bumped into that zombie, and I got paranoid here. I punched it with my fist, but I knew I was using daggers earlier, so I'll probably end up doing that a lot this game. I'm just making sure that I still have weaponless conduct intact. In fact, you never hit with a wielded weapon. Cool, we got a ring. Rings are like the main thing we're looking for here, because we really need polymorph control. Once we get polymorph control, that solves our hunger for a while. In fact, start scumming for slow digestion and polymorph control is probably a little better than what I started with here, which is slow digestion and a wand of polymorph. Oh, there you go. You feel more confident in your weapon skills. So no, I do not have that in my config file, which is surprising because I have a lot of crap in my config file. So I'm gonna make sure I add that for the future. Speaking of which, at some point I'm gonna make my config file like friendly for people to tear apart and customize on their own. Right now it's kind of, there's parts of it that probably only I can decipher. And I'm gonna post that and probably even do like a video on it so players can get set up on NetHack a little easier. You fall into a pit, you land on a set of sharp iron spikes. I believe these are available on dungeon level 5 and lower, and those can be poisonous, which is very dangerous because we don't have poison resistance. So it can lower our strength, but among other things, it can cause insta-death, which is very bad. I'm just exploring the mines here. Kill gnomes. Due to the traps, and like that spike pit trap over there, probably best not to spend a ton of time on these floors. I don't have time to like search a lot or do anything like that to see if there's traps on a lot of these tiles, so. Force bolt the dwarf. Looks like we got our power pull back, that's nice. Might have been a different game that I played around this time, where on that last floor, how we dropped in that open area from the trap door and we're surrounded by gnomes and monsters. I had a situation like that where I spent a lot of time just like trying to use my spells, and my power kept dropping and I had to like just kind of like run around with like no way to attack because of the power. Look at this, another gray stone. Where did I pick that up? Oh, I think I identified lodestone already. That's why, okay. I'm an applying wand. I wonder what this could be. Oh, we're identifying the stone. So if you rub a gray stone on a piece of like any metal item, and it goes scritch scritch, you know you got a touchstone. Got a thonged club, the Acklys. Those are pretty sweet because if you equip them and throw them, they'll return to you most of the time. They're actually a pretty awesome range weapon for wizards to have. I think I stick with daggers here. It's probably a good idea because it might be easy to accidentally break weaponless if you're walking around with an Acklys. I throw the Lichen Corpse, I think that's what those are, out of here. I think I mentioned it last time. The way my auto pickup stuff is set up, you always pick those up and it's not easy to turn off like in game. So I'm just trying to get them out of my way because I think I kept picking them up by accident. Ooh, a Vanish Wand. So if this is like a wand of teleport, that's awesome. A wand of teleport is one of the best escape items in the game. Even on no teleport level, you can use it on another monster. Like, it's great. So having something like that is very good to have, and I'm probably going to attempt to identify it right now. Alright, stat check. We got strength up, dex up. Nice. Did I zap this dagger with the wand? Oh. What? It's cursed dagger. I dropped the scroll of light. I like to use a worthless scroll or potion to test these no message wands. Because if you zap it done with it, it'll do nothing, in which case it can be make invisible. It'll disappear, in which case it's teleport. Or it'll blank, in which case it is cancellation. If you know the BUC status of an item, like a cursed item, you can drop it, and if it cancels, then you know that's also cancellation. I think I dropped the dagger just in case I could uncurse it with cancellation here. Let's see what we actually end up doing. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a very slim chance that if you zap something with teleport, it can land on the same tile. We should code dive that. That's something that it comes in handy sometimes. You don't want to misidentify a wand of well, I guess you wouldn't do it with cancellation, but like make invisible as teleportation or vice versa. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to zap down. And it's still an uncursed scroll of light. It's on the same tile, so that is make invisible. Probably. I don't think we want to use that yet. It'd be nice to have since our offense and defenses are terrible. Oh look, I didn't even rule out the fact that it could be teleport. I just know it's not cancel. Interesting. I guess I had that in mind. But yeah, we're about to go into Mine Town, so there's gonna be shops and stuff, so we don't want to be invisible for that. And once you get like a mummy wrapping, then making invisible is pretty good. Being invisible in general is pretty nice. Got a feline here. Is it a jaguar? Yeah. In my head, I don't have like a great like, wow, hang on, what just happened here? Let me finish that thought. In my head, I don't have like a great differentiation between all the different cat monsters, the tigers and the jaguars and the whatevers. They all kind of fall in the same category for me. But because of that, I'm not always sure when I see one in the early game how dangerous it is like that. But we killed that one pretty easily with just a force bolt, which is nice. And it looks like this is just a gold golem chipping at our HP, which is annoying. Probably the same speed as us, maybe a little slower base, but we have intrinsic speed, so we can run away and heal a bit. Probably waiting for that to show up so we could just zap it with force bolt a couple times as it closes in on us, and it did not want to oblige apparently. It still doesn't. Here we go. Oh no, we tried to kill it with some daggers first. I just realized that I could probably increase dagger there, and we do. Yeah, playing weaponless on a wizard without magic missile or a good power pool is kind of, or the Eye of the Aethiopica for power regen, pretty tough. I ran out of daggers, so now it's time to force bolt. Cool. Even threw the cursed dagger at it. Got like a arsenal of daggers. Elvish, orc, plain, whatever you need. Got there an icebox. Random thing to find in the mines. Full of corpses that we can't eat. Wow, a floating eye corpse just sitting there for the taking. And a blue jelly corpse. Red mold, whatever. Wow, the blue jelly and the floating eye are pretty awesome things to just find randomly. I don't even think I looked at the box at the time because I knew I couldn't use anything in there, but that's pretty cool. Pretty rare item to find, the ice box. Unless you're in a delicatessen, they're pretty common in there, but to find one on the ground. That is one of the randomly generated tools that you'll find in the mines. One on every floor, and there's also, what, like 3 other randomly generated items if you keep exploring. That's what we found, like, that ring last run. Cool, Mine Town. Very easy to distinguish because we found an actual room and not a cavern level. And crazily enough, I finished exploring here. We're still playing risky. Not really sure if this game has much promise or not. At this point in the game, I assume I'm just gonna die of starvation. So we don't have any way to deal with that. I don't know why I decided to keep exploring though. Why I felt the need to kill this dwarf. But here we are. He was looking for some kind of armor or something. Pickaxe, perhaps. Having trouble with the doors here. It's not a good sign. You can't even open a door. By searching a bit there, looked like I went for about 20 plus turns and didn't find anything. Door is locked, just gonna kick it down. Attempt to. Our mighty 11 strength wizard. So we're seeing monsters all the way over there with infravision, so we know that basically cuts all the way across the top of Mine Town. A square in the middle of the map, so usually there's a path on the top and the bottom. Alright, lots of guys coming in here. Make sure we deal with those real quick. Mine Town can get kind of dangerous. You can run into a lot of stuff. A lot of different monsters will show up here. Burden, that's kind of annoying. Dropping all our known potions. We're gonna want a price ID once we get back into, or once we get into the actual part of the town. We don't really need any of those. We aren't gonna drink them anytime soon, and we already know their identity, so we don't have to price ID them. So easy target for dropping there. I could probably just force bolt this dwarf right now. We're at max power. But we show off our dagger, our throwing dagger prowess as we best the dwarf in combat. Oh, we got some ants. These are annoying because they have high AC and we have bad to hit. Go a little slower here and see how this plays out. I'm throwing daggers at them. They don't have a lot of health, so if you hit them, they die pretty easily. I don't know if one dagger would kill them or not, but... And I think because they're small, I can't see them on infravision. I'm assuming that there's another one behind this guy. I backed up so we could get 2 for 1 with a force bolt, hopefully. Yeah, we missed the one in front of us, but we hit it, which is another giant ant. Didn't kill it though. Fights us again. Let's try it one more time. Cool. The other one that was behind it moved out of our line of fire, but we did kill the one that was in front of us. Now those often attack in groups. Trying to shut the damn door before more get here. We could probably kill them without too much trouble if we just blast them with a lot of power. But then we'd be out of power for any other threats that we come up with. Or come up upon, I should say. And having to regen power in Minetown isn't always great, because more monsters spawn. It's a losing battle with how, like, the rate that power regains. Try to throw some daggers at this dude, but oh wow, we actually... No, I ended up using Force Bolt at the end. I decided to go invisible there. I guess I was getting worried about all the monsters. Oh, I got a mummy wrapping. That's why I did that. I don't know if this is going to get generated cursed or not. I don't think I've ever seen that. I assume they can't, but I'm really not sure. Note, I'm actually going to check that. Grabbing here. Oh, I just came up here to heal. I'd rather have monsters generate on this floor than down in Minetown. That's why I'm spending turns to heal on this floor, because it can take a while. I accidentally auto-picked up those items. I just promptly dropped them again. The general store. Good to see it. I'm invisible. You can see the cursor there, the gray tile. That's where I am. Won't always be easy to see. A Gnome King here. Probably a Gnome Lord that drank a potion to gain level. Definitely gonna try and kill that with Force Bolt. Steal its daggers. Neutral altar, looks like. Wow, it's gonna be hard to tell if I'm far looking or actually walking around while I'm invisible. I'm just far looking here. Being careful not to throw when there's a guard potentially in the path of fire. Tool shop. A bunch of blindfolds. Glass orb. Defensive camera, 2 blindfolds. NCO is in the bottom right, and there was a chest in there. Possibly a tin opener or something. Lighting shot. What we got? Just a brass lantern. I guess we're playing wishless anyways, so it's not like we could make use of a magic lamp. Well, except for a permanent light source, which would be awesome for exploring the rest of the mines. But we're not gonna get to use any wishes here because we are playing wishless. I put on the wrapping, and I took it off right away just to see if it was cursed, and then I put it back on so that we can actually go into the shop. And kill this guy with daggers. Still trying to just let my power regen. I think they have surprisingly good AC. They're not terribly threatening though. And I'm burdened right now. I'm probably just about to go and sell stuff. I think I just picked up that hooded cloak. They're actually worth decent money early on. 25 gold a pop, I believe. Alright, man lobby. General store. Oh yeah, check this out. Walking shoes for sale. 77 Zork mids. I did a double take and did the math and determined that those could be none other than +5 walking shoes, which is kind of incredible. For +5 armor to be generated is pretty rare to begin with, but that's pretty awesome for this run because RAC sucks. All right, we're just price IDing now. I'm gonna fast forward through this. We're on turn 30, 35. Oops. Go here. Looks like if you look on the right, so my scheme for price IDing is basically to take the first 2 letters of the random description and then basically all the numbers that, except for the zeros. So those PH1 is whatever scroll that was and 100 value. A 200 value scroll would be PH2 or whatever. You can see the rings down there. MU3, 300 value, or that's a potion, so murky potion. That's a scheme I came up with just to make things faster if I ever wanted to do like speed running instead of like typing things out fully like I used to. Price ID the Greystone, it's 2 values, so we know it's flint. BR5, brown potion worth 50 value. Level 4 spellbook. I probably can't read that 100% safely yet. Probably also don't care. Since we don't have a good way to BUC test items, I am sure I will read a lot of unidentified spellbooks. Not even checking to see if they're cursed or not first. Again, we're still kind of in... I mean, we're getting further into this game, but we're still in somewhat like YOLO mode. I might even open this chest. That chest has an explosive trap. Oh wow, we found a trap on it. Okay, so I don't bother with that. The chest explodes, then you're liable for the contents, which I can't afford right now. And it could also be a bunch of other nasty traps that destroy items in our inventory or kill us instantly. You can get poisoned insta-death from a chest. Or if just from destroying our inventory, we could die as well. Lizard. So we can't eat a lizard to cure stoning, but they're worth holding on to for... What is it, the new moon? Where they prevent cockatrice hissing, always stoning you. If you just have one in open inventory, so that's why I carry that. Got some elven boots, a source of stealth. Very good to have a source of stealth. Whether it be ring, elven boots, elven cloak. Okay, we're just going to be price IDing in here. Let's see if I can fast forward a little bit. Oops. Back up again. I guess I didn't spend much time in there. What did I buy? Backing up still. Okay, we bought the 100 and 200 value spellbooks. Oh, and that is... Well, I'm going forward again now. This is actually a co-aligned altar. This is hard to tell in the TTY rec. Hardfought has colored altars. I thought that was in vanilla already, but I think I just saw that got added recently to the GitHub. We can actually make use of that, even though we're atheists, by just taking advantage of the sanctuary in there. If you're in a co-aligned temple, then monsters won't attack you. Alright, so we explored all of Minetown, all the shops, so we know what is at our disposal and what isn't, what's available, what's not, how much gold we have. And I guess we're going to make some decisions on what to buy. Surprised I didn't buy those boots immediately. The ones that are like +5, clearly. I'm dropping elven boots and my daggers just to see if it's enchanted or not. Something a lot of people don't do. It's not super necessary, but it can be nice to find enchanted stuff like that. Alright, there's a mimic in there. Was I even grabbing the candles? I might have been. I don't know why. I do want light source for the mines. And we got wisdom and constitution upgrades. Not bad. Gonna force bolt the mimic. Mimic dropped a gem. Okay, we just buy the brass lantern. I wonder if I just revealed that by searching. Which I might have been doing if I was just waiting for Izchak to get out of the way or something. Oh, I already bought the +5 low boots. I didn't even notice that. A minute ago I was talking as if I passed over them. So yeah, AC 4, not bad. I'll be down to 3 with magic resistance. I'll take that. I'm gonna fast forward. Oh, hang on. Okay, I backed up. Looked like something eventful happened there. I really wish I could fast forward in like smaller increments. This TTY rec is almost 4 hours long, so I don't have a lot of precision when doing that. So I'm trying to get unburdened here. I guess I'm going back up into the dungeon is the plan next. But I don't want to leave things on the floor above, so I think I was going to grab those potions and bring them downstairs. I like to leave things, if I'm making a quote-unquote stash, on a floor that I'm not going to be on. So I drop them next to the stairs and leave the next turn. Because things don't happen on floors that you're not on. So they're really 100% safe, essentially. I guess there's a few really obscure things that could happen, like a monster coming out of nowhere with like a wand of fire and hitting your scrolls or something. But they're pretty damn safe if you leave items one tile away from the stairs and you leave the floor immediately. So it looks like I'm going to make a little stash here, because we'll likely be coming back to here to at least price ID. We're probably going to head to Sokoban soon. I don't know, I picked up all my scrolls again. What the heck am I doing? Back downstairs. Owlbear. Owlbears are always pretty dangerous when you first see them. I would add them to the list of monsters that are, when you first start generating them, are something to be just on the lookout for. They're pretty easy to deal with if you're not playing Elberithless like I am. I don't remember what their speed is. It might have been wise to run from this, but I assumed I'd be able to kill it with Force Bolt. Unfortunately, I missed, what, 2 out of 3 there? And well, look at that. In one turn, he drops me to about half health. It isn't actually a ton of damage, I'm just weak as heck. What are we doing here? I try to apply the expensive camera to scare it. And it does nothing. I actually don't know what... Maybe he has an MR check. I don't know if Owlbears even have MR. I remember at the time I was actually pretty shocked that the camera didn't work here. What's funny is I almost never use expensive cameras. I carry them around like forever, and I never ever end up using them. It's just like one of those things I'm like, all right, in like this specific obscure emergency, I might end up using those. If you watched my tourist playthrough that's also on my YouTube channel, you'll know I carried around that camera the entire game and did not use it. So this is like the first time, possibly in years, I've actually tried to use a expensive camera, and look, it didn't even work. No wonder I don't use them. And look at this, 3 health. We could have easily died here with, you know, different damage rolls. Well, shit. Yeah, it's probably GG. Yeah, this isn't something to easily get out of. I mean, I still have the Scroll of Scare monster, which will get us out of the situation, but having an owlbear, it looks like there's a werewolf over there. Different stuff running around. Not great. So yeah, that's exactly what we go for. We drop the Scroll of Scare monster. Now that Scroll of Scare monster was uncursed, but it generated in our inventory, so we can actually pick it up one time without having it disintegrate. Usually they generate on the floor, so when you pick them the first time, it procs that count. But we can actually pick this up one more time, which is nice. Our 5th or 6th zap before Bolt. 3 hits. Yeah. What am I thinking here? I like having little notes in here. Like having the author's like notes in the margins of a book or something. At least I'm not dead. I guess. I find that funny. I don't really want to get blind here. I didn't grab any of those blindfolds down there. I guess tools don't generate curse except for lighting tools. So I would be safe. Like, I would know for sure that those are non-cursed, which is good. I could have worn those. Deal with things like this exploding light. This wizard might have even started with a blindfold. I don't remember. I'm just chilling on the Scroll Scare monster. Yeah, I think I had some items over there. The werewolf is now faster and has a little bit more AC. Checking to see if I can get skilled on dagger yet. Uh-oh. So I'm throwing daggers at the werewolf. The werewolf can now throw daggers back at me. I should probably just force bolt this guy at this point. Although he's not throwing them yet. Just picking up the daggers I'm throwing, which is funny when monsters get in this loop. Not a very smart werewolf, is it? Out of daggers, start chucking darts. I don't know why I don't just force bolt this guy. I'm being pretty conservative with my power here. With good reason. I've gotten into some very terrible situations with having low power. And that might have happened a few times during this tournament prior to this game, so I might be a little more conservative than normal. But it looks like it's running, and I'm finally going to force bolt. Yeah, now it's throwing stuff at me, this is where it can get dangerous. I don't want to get hit. But 2 zaps, and he goes down. You can raise attack, but that doesn't really do much for a wizard. Or attack spell school, I should say. They should be able to cast Force Bolt and Magic Missile. Level 1 and 2 spells. And without any issues to like the entire game at basic. If you want higher level spells, then it benefits. I don't think having higher skill affects either of those spells. It's just level for Magic Missile. Alright, so I'm just chilling here. Healing a bit. Potentially be doing this upstairs, but we don't want upstairs to get overcrowded with monsters either. What the heck? Oh, check this out. I just backed up a second to see what was going on here. I have water that's not stacking. If I dropped that water and picked it up, it would have stacked with the other ones, even if they're named. It would have added that stack. So now what do I do here? I dip the 2 into the one that I know is not uncursed to see what it is. And I was hoping for holy water. Holy water would have been amazing, but it is unholy water. Still useful, but not great right now. Probably should have put that magic resistance cloak on sooner. far looking right now. Wait, is that another werewolf? Oh, that's the same one. We never killed it, right? No, we did kill it, right? I don't even know anymore. God, this is so terrible. This part of the GTY wreck. I'm trying to... Yeah, right there. Werewolf corpse. What the heck? I'm not even messing around this time. Just force pulled that guy. Take it for loot. What's a lockpit? Do I have an unlocking tool? I must have. I left that there. Alright, dropping some items. I think we're finally ready to leave the floor. Let's see what we do. Just trying to gather things, I guess, and not be like terribly burdened. Yeah, it looks like I'm making a little stash here. I should really drop the spellbook so I don't want to be burdened. I think I've been trying to consolidate these things downstairs. My inventory kept being full. Having a sack would be nice right now. Any kind of bag, except for tricks, of course. Drop all them heavy potions. BRB. Well, that's actually probably a good stopping point because I think we're done with Minetown. So I guess we're gonna go back up to the dungeon and probably head to Sokoban if I had to guess. But we will find out. But yeah, I'll continue this another time. So thanks for hanging out and watching. If you have any questions about decisions or whatever, if I missed anything you want to know about it, yeah, feel free to drop a comment below, and I respond to all of them pretty much. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for part 3 of this this video episode series. That's the word I'm looking for. And I will see you for part 3 of this series. And I'll probably be dropping these about once a week going forward. So hopefully, once we get out of the early game, we'll be able to fast forward through large parts of this. So once we get out of these first couple of episodes, hopefully we can go through pretty fast and just get to the more interesting parts. But the entire early game is kind of interesting if you ask me. So we're definitely taking our time here. That was an interesting episode in general. The owlbear got pretty scary there. I guess the beginning, the cliffhanger we entered on, falling through the trapdoor, ended up not being too bad, but a lot of gnomes we had to deal with, throwing daggers and conserving our mana and stuff. So anyways, I'll stop rambling and start again next episode. See you guys there.